Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semi-finals of the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 51. Ooh, the vetoes are done. Lobby has been made, and we're diving into our first semi-finals of the night. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the last remaining Zerg player in the tournament, representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Wayne. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the last remaining Terran player in the tournament, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. Here we go. We have one final Terran, one final Zerg. There is a Protoss confirmed for the finals, yet to determine which Protoss, but it will be a Protoss player. Whether it's Middle VK, Cristiano, or Geralt, yet to be determined. We'll dive into the upper semifinals after this series here. As a reminder, both semis are casted for this tournament, one after the other. Ooh, as we do see Wayne going for the hatch first. We're loading into post-youthful maps. Interesting. Again, we're seeing post-youth a little bit more often here today. I'm used to seeing this map vetoed more often than not, but here tonight we're seeing it in a couple of interesting matchups. In the ZvZ earlier, now in the ZvT. You see Nicoract going for a Rax expand. We have seen some Terran players go CC first on post-youth, but we can see that Nicoract does not want to take that risk. He's not taking that risk, he's not taking that chance, going for a much more standard opener instead. Well, also, before I forget, before I get ahead of myself, if you're in the chat, predictions are going to be open. Place your bets on who you believe will make it into the grand finals, who will be our first player in that top two. Will it be our Zerg or our Terran? Will it be Nicoract or Wayne? It will be up to you to decide. Moment. Just setting that up here, and boom, there we go. So yeah, predictions are open in the chat. Best of luck. Get your gamba going if you wish. Let me leave that message. Predictions open. Beautiful. As from here, Wayne getting into his third. Again, Hatch Gas pull into a third. Nothing too crazy from our Zerg player. Reaper has arrived, and it's on Wayne to minimize his losses to make sure this Reaper doesn't get out of hand. And we should be able to maintain our two-base setup. As Nicoract rotates over towards the natural, gold minerals are being prioritized. And we're going for the drone. Oh, we don't quite get a quick sport trick there from Wayne, saving the drone. And behind this, Nicoract going for a third CC before factory. Okay, I spoke about not being greedy before, and Nicoract did go for a Rax expand, but that is a CC, not just before the starport, before the factory as well. A much greedier build here. 3 CC, 3 Rax? Wait, sorry. 3 CC, yeah, 3 CC, 3 Rax. Oh my god, Nicoract, you don't see this build too often against Zerg. We've seen this a lot against Protoss as of late. We saw a lot of this last night even as well. This has been a very trendy build against Protoss players. I've yet to really experience this against Zerg players, or at least not too often. So the way this works, of course, is that Nicoract is going to be building up towards a sim timing. Against Zerg, it's, especially on post-youth, I imagine we won't be hitting that sim timing. I imagine we're going to be hitting a medevac timing instead. The downside of this build here for Nicoract in this matchup means that there's no contention for the creep. That's the biggest downside here for this build, is that there's no Hellions, right? There's no Hellions to apply pressure, to focus down some creep tumors, and to threaten the mineral lines. Wayne can freely drone and freely spread creep. So that is the dangerous thing here. As the Overlord dips in, the Overlord gets eyes on all the Marines, and we also get eyes on the third CC as well. So Wayne is now aware of the greed of Nicoract, and is also aware of the lack of Hellions. Ooh, interesting. This is very much so Wayne. So what do we go for? Going for a Roach Warren. Now, one of the a big rationale for this, I imagine, is because how greedy we've been. There's no tanks. There's no factory production. The factory's finishing up now, but this should be for the starport, for an add-on swap into reactor starport, into a reactor starport into medevacs. But again, there's no backbone to this army. It's purely marine. So committing into a heavy Roach Ravager army can do quite well here. And we can deny the third. We can deny the third over and over again. Double lever chamber behind this for upgrades. Gases are being taken. We're spreading creep to our heart's content. Marines move out. Third is on the way. We spoke about it before, but there's that add-on slot being ready for Nicoract for those medevacs. And Nicoract will soon be active on the map. It's coming. Eventually, he'll be able to break out. Until then, Wayne still building up. He's going to be +1 range to help support his roaches. Roach speed is now on the way. We've drawn up to 3-base saturation. We could even get a 4th from here. Speaking of, there it is. 4th base is on the way. Continuing to spread that creep. And we can see that we should still be droning from here. I'm curious if we drone up past 66. That's my kind of big tell here for how aggressive Wayne wants to be. As the medevacs, they finally arrived. With the arrival of these medevacs, now we can move out. We can be active on the map. Nicoract is pushing towards our 4th base, which he has scattered with the Reaper. We stem on in. We're going for the hat trick. Queen's reposition roaches as well. Can we focus it down? We can! Up! We force the cancel. Whew. Nice pick off there from Nicoract. Denying the 4th. And we'll see if we can deny it for a 2nd time. Roach Ravager has been revealed. We have not made a drone in quite some time. We're still only on 63 workers. Focusing on Roach Ravager. Tumors are focused down. The Queen's not too far behind to respread that creep. And Wayne is now droning. Not just droning, also working on a hive. Hive is on the way. Gold base is being saturated. Hive should be for, I imagine, lurker tech. We'll see. As we don't get +2. Okay, if we went for +2 range, and I would assume we would be working towards Hydra Lurker. But with +1 melee, we could actually switch gears and go into Ultras instead. Baneliness is on the way, yep, so we're going to be trying to transition into Lingbane Roach Ravager. Infestors to support. Wayne's gold was delayed, but now it's up and running. And again, you can see the power, or I shouldn't say the power, like the difficult thing here about this build of choice from Nicoract is the creep is getting out of hand. We're now controlling half of the map, and we're going further than that. Nicoract stuck at home, getting his own 4th CC. Settling into his biotank. And don't get me wrong, Nicoract is trying to be active with these drops, but there's only so much he can do. As Wayne is soon to max out. Nicoract likewise does on siege. He's pushing. Okay, we've got 1-1. We have Stim, combat shields, 3 tanks. And show us the Fungals. With Fungals, they will connect. 1 tank goes down. But the others do siege. Big volleys go off. There's that Ultra Cavern that we spoke about. Once we saw that +1 melee. Gold base has to be evacuated. Good tank positioning here for Nicoract within range of the gold. Do deny some of those Ravagers. Baleen speed not quite done. Our goal here is to force back all the creep and get a kill on this hatchery. See if we can. Wayne getting ready for a counter-attack. Gold base being taken by Nicoract. Gold base is on the way, but the Lings are here. They will deny it. The SCVs! Oh, they came in a little bit too soon. The base is under fire, and Nicoract does have to turn back around. Does leave the tanks exposed. We're going in. We're going for the tanks. Blinding Cloud gets thrown down. And the tanks, they will be cleaned up. We cannot engage with the bio, though, as we're going to try and push in. Wayne, he will pile down some of those medevacs, but we bleed out a lot of the Lingbane. But the Fungal does connect. The Ultra's coming in. We come in for the hunt with the Ultra. Oh my god, does not have kindness plating. Yeah, the Ultras, they melt. Nicoract trying to break through, gets to some of the base, gets to some of the hatchery, but we're running out of steam. Again, we took some massive Fungals to the face. Tank goes down. Not just one. Second tank as well. And even if this base goes down, Wayne, he has double expanded. He catches the final tank. And Wayne holds. Wayne, he barely holds on. And Nicoract lost so much in that assault. Does have a gold base. Thankfully, it is a planetary. But Nicoract, he needs more time to recover. And those ultras, they're coming. They're amassing as we speak. We have +3 carapace on the way. This time, kindness plating is done for Wayne. We're just waiting for our reinforcements to arrive. More ultras on the way. Ultras are on the way. We do catch some of the Ravagers, though. Ooh, Wayne, a little bit late to react. Leads out 3 Ravagers. Now we mainly have a Ling Ultra army with our spellcasters. Do we lose the Infestors? We have not. Infestors, they're still in the mix. They still have energy. Vipers are coming in. And looking at our defensive position, 0 tanks. 0 tanks here defending the gold. We have Liberators on the way instead. And Liberators will do well. Like, there's no anti-air, true. But we don't have that many, and we come in for the power bombs. And Wayne, he has maxed out, lands the fungal. We don't quite commit yet, waiting for more Banelings. Liberators have arrived. Can Nicoract recover? I mean, he needs more time. Time that I don't think Wayne is going to give him. He is now maxed. Nicoract double expanding, getting his 5th. Base is getting up and running. Wayne on 83 workers. Here come those Vipers. Coming for the yoink. Liberator is yoinked. Ghosts are coming, and we throw down the blinding cloud. Go snipes on the first ultra. But there's just too much Ling Bane. There's just too much of a swarm here. The planetary goes down. Again, Nicoract, he barely has the economy behind this. Has it back up 4th. Can Maynard over. Oh, the queen gets the lip. And you can see Wayne just double down and remax on more ultras, more lings. We have a couple of Ravagers on the way that will help with the Liberators, as Liberators are stationary, so they can be wild. Oh, this choke point is brutal. We snipe 2 of those ultras. We get the fungal, the flanking fungal, and it's not going to be enough to break this. The Biles, they do connect, and that's going to be enough. We bust into the mineral line once again. The planetary is not done. GG gets called, and Wayne will take game number 1. GG. Wayne will take it. Again, Wayne had a much more comfortable start in this game. Nicoract maybe being a little bit too greedy. We saw the 3cc3 racks does give the Zerg player a lot of freedom there, and Wayne was able to freely expand, spread his creep, drone. And he may be forced to cancel the 4th base that one time, but outside of that, he was able to hold on. Able to make use of that Roach Ravager. And take it from there. And with that, Wayne is now 1 game away from advancing on to the Grand Finals. Can Nicoract bounce back? I'm hoping he can. I'm hoping for an ace match. I want to see us go the distance here. But again, post-youth leads to some more odd builds or interesting builds and interesting playstyles because of the map itself. Now we're loading into something a little bit more standard. We're loading into Alcyone. Let's go. None of this pocket hybrid base, none of the... I mean, there is the gold. There are gold bases on this map. True, true. Can take them down the line. Early on, we should be seeing more standard play. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alcyone. We have our red Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle. Leading the series 1-0. It is Wayne. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Terran player representing the Platinum Heroes down in this series. Can he bounce back? It is Nicoract. Going for 2x Reaper? Okay, got my attention. I was expecting a bit of a more standard game here, but no, Nicoract is spicing things up. We do have the racks on the low ground. This should be a 2-Rax Reaper build. The goal of this build is to delay the third base and to contain the Zerg player on 2 bases for as long as possible. Much more aggressive opener here out of Nicoract. Here comes the second SCV for the second Rax, and it is on the way. So again, 2-Rax Reaper. There are more committed variations and versions of this. If Nicoract throws down a third Rax in the main, then he can go 3-Rax Reaper. He can just double down, commit that much harder, and be hyper aggressive. But this should just be 2-Rax Reaper into an expansion. And this, in the mid game, does more seamlessly lead into a 2-on-1 with a factory and a starport and a medevac push. It can lead into a 4-Rax. That is also a viable option here for Nicoract, or even a 3-Rax later in set, once we expand. So we'll see where this takes us as our Reapers are on the way. Now, ideally, Nicoract only wants to make 3 Reapers. 3 Reapers is going to be enough to contain and to delay the third. If Wayne is greedy and if Wayne tries to take this third base nonetheless and throws it down, then Nicoract needs to make an additional wave of Reapers to make sure he does force a cancel. There we go. Our first Reaper is moving out. We have 2 more behind this. Back at home, Wayne going hatch gas pool. Wayne does confirm with the Overlord that it is 2-Rax Reaper, so he should stay on 2 bases and prepare himself. We have an extra pair of Lings on the way. Queens are in production. Reaper dips in. The dance has begun. And Wayne shouldn't lose any drones here. Shouldn't, but we'll see. As we do almost get a Ling. Oh my god. There we go. 1 Ling goes down. Not a bad start for Nicoract, and he's checking for the third. He checks the triangular third location. He's going to check the linear third location. Does confirm that we're stuck on 2 bases, and that means that we can transition. There it is. Reactors are on the way. Tech Lab on the way behind this as well. Again, 3 Reapers is all we need. And Wayne is stuck on 2 bases a little bit longer. Once Ling speed kicks in, then Wayne can shut down these Reapers. Until then, he's going to be contained. Oh, as Nicoract is following this up with a 3cc. Okay, we do have a third command center on the way. So this is going to be a 3cc 2-on-1 setup. So very economic behind this. Not hyper aggressive. I spoke earlier about how when it comes to the follow-up, we can see like a 3-Rax or even a 4-Rax. Or more straight up 2-on-1. But no, Nicoract is working towards a longer game. Working towards a macro game. And now finally, Wayne can expand. We have Ling speed. Finally, the expansion's on the way. See Wayne trying to catch those Reapers. Unable to, though. They will slip away. And from here, we should be stabilizing. Wayne should be focusing on droning and catching back up. Roachwarren is on the way here for our Zerg player once again. And Nicoract is going to be very bio-heavy with his composition. I say that. That's a Tech Lab on the way, not a Reactor. And are we going for an add-on swap into fast Banshees? Looks like we are. Okay, so this is really nice. This is something that we see a lot from Bjorn and Maru. I mean, all players that have adopted this build and this opener have been mixing this in. And, oh, never mind. Never mind. Wait, what? Wait, what? What was the purpose? Okay, so I assumed we would be seeing an add-on swap to go into Banshee production, which would have been really cool, because Banshees would be able to shut down the Roach play, as Roaches are amassing for Wayne. He's making Roaches, he's making Lings. Wayne, he's cut workers here at 41, and Banshees would be ideal against this, but for now, we just see Nicoract, he's scouting with his Reaper, going for a fast tank instead. Which means it didn't have to add on salt like that, but it's all good. Going into early tank production. Medevacs are on the way, and Wayne is going all in. Wayne is going to be going all in with this. The goal here is to knock down the wall with the Ravager Vials. Lings will flood in thereafter. Again, the reason why Wayne is going for this as well is because tank production has been delayed because of the build. Or factory production, I should say, has been delayed. Oh, and Nicoract is expanding, taking his third. Nicoract doesn't know. He hasn't seen the lack of saturation. Again, looking at his vision, Nicoract, he did not go in far enough. He did not see the fact that there is no drones at the third. He doesn't know. And he's put, now is not the time to move out. Uh-oh. Nicoract, he's moving out on the map. Is spotted by Wayne, and we collapse on the army. We're going for the surround. We force the stem. And Nicoract, he's bleeding out far too much. The tank caught out of position. And we have to evacuate. We have to give up on the third base. There's no saving it. And even holding on to the natural is going to be difficult. Okay, we have 2 tanks. We have 2 tanks sieged. Miles, they take down one of the tanks. The 3 Ravagers. The Ravagers, they take a lot of damage. And we felt. Looks like we have held for now. Again, 3 Ravagers went down. That was a big misstep for Wayne. So Wayne is droning. Wayne is finally droning up. And he needs to delay this third base. Yes, if he's no! The FCs, they come in too soon. We collapse on top of the tanks, and this time we do get us around. Files won't quite connect. Hot pick up there from Nicoract. We bust into the natural base. The wall, no longer a wall. GG gets called. Wayne was droning up, by the way. He had accepted that he couldn't break the natural, but Nicoract, a little bit too ambitious, moves out, exposes himself, and Wayne will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here as Wayne will advance on. Again, Nicoract had held, but did move out. He moved out a little bit too soon to expand. The wall was down, the army was exposed, and Wayne took advantage of Nicoract in that moment and does close it out. GG, congratulations. Wayne is going to be our first player in the grand finals. But who will join him? Who will face off against Wayne in those finals? We're here to find out. !